Well, hello and welcome to Medina This Week. I'm Mike Kovack with the Kovack Family Community Fund and Berkshire Hathaway Realtors. And
Hey, I'm Bill Lamb, Medina City Councilman at Large.
and this is our very first show of Medina This Week. We're going to attempt to bring you all the local news from the Medina area in the past week and also some upcoming events right here in the Medina area.
And you know, I think one thing we're trying to do and hope to do as we go forward is to fill that gap in local news, because local papers are struggling. And we have been so fortunate in Medina to have a local paper that still exists and still covers local news. But I think this way we can add to it, you know, if you've got children in school, you've got sports, you've got clubs, local government, you know, kind of hear about things that are going on, because a lot of good things, just from what we have looked at to put this together for you this week, there's so much going on, I'm not sure we can fit it in our time.
And part of what we want you to do is to help us out. If you know of events that are going on in the Medina area, if you have great pictures or videos of those events that have happened, we'd ask you to share them with us here at Medina This Week. You can do that a number of ways. You can email us at medinathisweek@gmail.com. You can call and leave a message on the answering machine at 330-410-9905, or you can reach out to us on Facebook at Medina This Week. We'd love to hear from you.
Sounds good, Mike. I've got one thing to start with. I think it's kind of in the rearview mirror. The race with grace was just this past Saturday, and I want to mention that a young man, Chase Foster, he got first place in the 10-year-old category.
And he's a repeat winner, isn't he?
He's a repeat winner. He won last year. He's 10 years old now. He won last year when he was 9. He ran in the race. He ran in 23 minutes and 9 seconds, which if you break that down, that's a 7.44 minute mile. That's quite an accomplishment for that young man.
That's wonderful. And Race with Grace is a wonderful organization. They've been working for a number of years. So,
Right, absolutely.
yeah, they had great weather for it, too.
They did. It's almost like fall.
Yes, almost like fall. That's right.
Is it fall?
Not quite, but
Okay.
the weather's here.
All right,
So.
we like fall weather.
Hey, in the Medina County SPCA, they do wonderful work with abandoned animals in the area, and they are in desperate need of your extra newspapers. So obviously they use those for litter boxes for the animals. And if you have extra papers that you'd like to donate to them, put to good use, you can drop those off right here in Medina at either the PetSmart store or the Pet Supplies Plus stores. Again, right here in Medina, SPCA would greatly appreciate it.
Well, and speaking of pets, speaking of the SPCA, if you look around, if you're actively involved, you have a pet, Medina actually is the place to be. I mean, this is a pet-loving city, no doubt. Just this past Saturday was Main Street Medina's Fall Festival, and it had a puppy parade, puppies of all sizes doing a meet and greet. And it was like a beautiful autumn day. Puppies were dressed up like autumn.
There's some of them coming across the screen
And there's
now.
some coming across the screen momentarily, or maybe right now. But just a great thing to do. And as an add-on, coming up October 7th is the annual Halloween pet costume contest at Spokes 2 in the Austin Badger Park. So if you've got a pet, dress them up, come to Austin Badger. But boy, if you were here this past weekend, that fall festival from Main Street, boy, that was a heck of a parade.
Dogs of all sizes, so yes. It was Rainbow Bridge Walk this weekend too, so like you say, animals, Medina County is great to the animals out there. And unfortunately, the end of an era has come to Medina. Medina Hardware on the square here closed this past Saturday after 150 years in business. Medina Hardware has been in the Stevenson family since 1932, when Willard Stevenson became manager, what was then Oatman's Hardware. Willard later renamed the store to Medina Hardware and worked there until his death in 2008. His son, Rick Stevenson, first began working there in 1972 in the 7th grade. He worked alongside his dad throughout high school and took over the store's ownership in 1995. Medina Hardware and the Stevenson Foundation have been tremendously generous to the Medina community throughout the years, and they'll be tremendously missed. We wish Rick and his family the best in his retirement. They had their first grandchild born last month, so we know he has a lot to look forward to in retirement. Those grandchildren are fun.
We both know that. That's true. And a couple of anecdotes I think about Medina Hardware. One is the Stevenson Foundation continues on,
Yes.
right? The hardware store is
Right.
closed, but the Stevenson Foundation, just from the role they play in things we've done in local government, always in a lot of good things they have contributed to for the community at large. And I think anybody that ever went to Medina Hardware knows that it was the place to go if you had something, no matter what it was, and you might not even know what it was. Rick Stevenson could open a drawer and find that for you. And if the pack had 10, he'd open the pack up and give you that one.
Yep, wonderful.
And lastly, I think Willard would appreciate this if I shared this little story with you. When I first came to Medina from Cleveland, I went to the hardware store because I wanted to buy a pneumatic jack to jack something up where I lived. And Willard showed me the jack, and I said to him, I described the little building, and I said, "Do you think it will jack that up?" And he looked at me and he said, "What are you, an idiot?"
Welcome to Medina.
And I've shared this with Rick at the hardware store numerous times, and every time he'd chuckle and he'd go, "Yeah, that was Willard." And I knew it was meant with kindness.
Oh, it was his dad. I didn't realize it was his dad. I thought it was Rick at first.
No.
Oh, the dad. Okay.
No.
Yes.
Willard, I'll never forget that.
He's a great reader of people. Willard.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
Hey, great news out of Columbus last week, confirming what many of us already know. Medina City and Medina County have great public school systems. The state of Ohio has returned to the practice of ranking public school systems on a 5-star grading system, and Medina County ranked first out of all 88 counties in the state with an average of 4.5 stars. The school systems were all ranked on the achievement, progress, gap closing, graduation, and early literacy. And Medina City schools received 5 stars on gap closing and graduation, 4 stars in achievement and progress, and 3 stars in early literacy for an overall rating of 4.5 stars. And we'd like to congratulate all the teachers, administrators, and the parents out there in the Medina City school system, as well as those in the other 6 public school systems in Medina County. You have the very best public school systems in the entire state. Congratulations. And on another point of that, speaking of outstanding school systems, we want to give a shout out to Medina Blake Elementary 5th grade teacher Chris Bentar. He was recently recognized with the Highlighting Innovation Award from the Medina City School District. There's a picture of him, and congratulations, Mr. Bentar. Back to you, Mr. Lamb.
Well, thank you very much. On Friday, this Friday, the 22nd of September, there's a ribbon cutting at the new bookstore in town. And the bookstore, which is called Black Cat Books and Oddities. If you haven't been there yet, ribbon cuttings are kind of fun to go to, because there'll be some officials there and there's always a snack or two, usually. But my point is, if you haven't been to the bookstore, you've got to go. I mean, Black Cat Books, and the word oddities, right? It's not just books, but it's the entire decor inside this bookstore that is absolutely fantastic. From the moment you walk in, you know you are someplace special. And it's not just about the books, but about every nook and cranny and the way it's set up, the way it's decorated. It has the keenest, most interesting feel of any bookstore I think I have ever been in. A young couple opened the bookstore recently. I went to the first day they were open.
And they're related to the Sweets and Geeks people, right?
Related to the Sweets and Geeks people, which is also an incredible business here.
Yes.
That if you want to go buy something sweet, for sure. But anyway, the bookstore is just amazing, and if you get a chance, go there. Grand open. The city will be there with a ribbon cutting on the 22nd. It's just a great place to go visit.
Get out and visit the Black Cats.
Black Cats and Oddities.
Bookstore.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
Great. United States Census Bureau released new information on their 2022 statistics, and the news once again is good for Medina County. Medina County remains one of the most prosperous counties in the state, ranking 5th in median income according to the Bureau's statistics. Median household income in Medina County was $87,796, ranking Medina County only behind Delaware, Union, Geauga, and Warren counties in Ohio. Medina's median household income was also above the median for Ohio at $65,000, and the United States, the median income there is $74,000. So poverty statistics for Medina County were also good as one would expect. Poverty rate in Medina County, 6.7%, while that of Ohio was 13.4%. So we're better off, fortunately, than many others across Ohio.
Yeah, that is good news.
Yeah.
That is good news. I was driving through some neighborhoods recently, and I've noticed that people are starting to put up their Halloween decorations, not just a pumpkin, not just a scarecrow, but really incredible, huge, interesting, spooky decorations. And I thought, as we lean into fall, we're moving into that end. When we get into Halloween, wouldn't it be fun to spotlight some of the really most interesting decorations that contribute to this appearance of Halloween? And I think Mike and I would like to hear from you. We've got you can contact us at what Mike read in the beginning, but to hear from you, and you could point out, like, in my neighborhood, I think we have this, or send us a picture so we can see what it looks like. I think that'd be a fun thing as a community to do, and then people would probably drive around like they do at Christmas time, I think, with those phenomenal decorations. Some people I think spend all year getting ready to decorate. I usually go get a pumpkin. I'm kind of
carve it badly.
I don't know. I'm quite a good pumpkin carver. I've heard many people have said that.
Wow.
Not, but
I'm impressed. I
think I heard somebody say it one time, but I might have been myself. Anyway, wouldn't that be fun? So I'd like to, send us a picture, contact us if you've got an address of a great house, somebody's doing interesting decorations, and sometimes decorations that aren't store-bought, but they are individually. Somebody came up with a really one-off idea. That'd be great to hear about, so we can share that on our next program.
And we'll just share with you how to get a hold of us again. It's up here on the screen. You can reach us by phone at 330-410-9905, by email at medinathisweek@gmail.com, or out on Facebook at Medina This Week. We would love to hear from you. And also along those lines, we want to share some birthdays and anniversaries with you, and those can be shared with us too. Happy birthday to Wendy Murato of Kitten Crazy here in Medina. Local attorney Marianne Chandler celebrating. Colleen Conley out in York Township, longtime trustee. Stephanie Robinson, executive director of the Hope Recovery Center in Medina. Former Medina librarian director Bob Smith. And Colleen Rice, longtime executive director of Leadership Medina County. Wedding anniversaries, want to send these out to John and Mary Griesek of Medina, celebrating their 46th, and Mike and Patty Boyert, celebrating their 43rd wedding anniversary. You may know them as the owners of Boyert's Greenhouse down on Route 3.
I met the Boyerts when they were quite young, when we started the first farm markets on the square in Medina. They were the first couple people to sign up for a farm market, And
was that when you were mayor?
It could have been.
We're going to see how many shows in a row we go with that coming up.
I did not say that.
What else you got in your news
here?
there? Yes, you're supposed to go over.
Okay, this is pretty good. The historic Medina Symphonia of Western Reserve Orchestra is beginning rehearsals this week. The orchestra is currently encouraging new members to join up. All categories of players, high school age and above, are welcome. The orchestra has a November 19th fall holiday concert planned. So if you're interested in joining, reach out to the orchestra conductor Shirley Ann Walker at SAWALKER426@yahoo.com, or look for Historic Medina Symphony on Facebook.
And I think they put on 2 concerts a year, so those who may be interested, it's a great way to be involved. Lots of events going on throughout Medina County, the Medina area, Medina City, and one of the big ones coming up is St. Paul's Oktoberfest here, just off the square, happening Saturday, September 23rd. It's going to run from 1 to 8 p.m. There's going to be food from Cleveland's Hofbrauhaus, a German band from 1 to 5, and a rock band from 5:30 to 8, because that's a great Oktoberfest tradition. They've got the Stein holding contest going on at 5 p.m. and they really have lots of great kids activities going on from about 1 to 6 p.m. So you can Google that online for tickets and info. That's the St. Paul's Oktoberfest happening Saturday, September 23rd.
Also coming up, particularly if you have a high school student, you might already know this, is the 2023 Celebration Week, which is Medina's homecoming. Homecoming parade is Thursday, September 21st. That starts at 6:30. Theme parade starts at Garfield Elementary School. comes around the square, goes back to Medina High School.
Keep that in mind for those of you who drive through the square about that time.
Don't drive through then.
Don't drive through then.
You won't be driving through
That's
then.
right. You'll be watching the homecoming parade, whether you want to or not.
The community's invited to come and cheer on the juniors and seniors as they take to the gridiron at Ken Duke Stadium for the friendly Powder Puff football game following the parade, about 7:30. And of course, that's followed by on the 22nd, on Friday, with Medina's varsity football game, homecoming queen, escorts will be introduced.
Yep.
What a traditional, it's that very traditional, going way back
they
to
brought
maybe
the-
when you were in high school.
they
Goes that
brought-
far back?
Even farther than that, to when you were in high school, perhaps. But they brought the parade back. The parade
Yeah, the parade
went away
was-
and we never did that in Wadsworth. I graduated from Wadsworth, so that was brand new to me to see a homecoming parade throughout town. So,
Yeah,
so that's a nice tradition, and they're returning that this year on Thursday, September 21st.
Yeah, and the parade is any parade we have, any parade in Medina is around. It loops up here and goes
Yep.
around the square. It's such a great kind of venue because people can gather here. There's plenty of space to see the parade, whether it's 4th
Right.
of July, Memorial Day, whatever the parade is. And this one's always special because you've got the homecoming previously, and you have the band, and you have the football game. This is just it's such a great community get together.
Nice hometown
for a
event.
good reason. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I like that.
Several other events going on. And I just mentioned that we put out an email weekly from the Kovack Family Community Fund. And if you want to receive that email, we're going to put that information up on the screen. And it puts out all different types of events going on in Medina and the surrounding areas. We put that out every Thursday morning. And some of the wide range of events, we talked about the Oktoberfest. The National Tractor Pullers Association is going on out at the fairgrounds on, again, Saturday, September 23rd. Starts at 7 p.m. and it's actually professional tractor pulling and truck pulling. So for folks who are into that, it's going to be out at the fairgrounds. The Medina VFW's got their clam bake going on Saturday, September 23rd. Doors open at 4. Clam bake runs from 5 to 7 p.m. and they're right up here on Pearl Road. And also on Saturday, the Medina County Board of Developmental Disabilities is having a free community shredding event out at the Achievement Center at 4691 Windfall Road. I actually know a lot of people wait all year to take advantage of that. So it's free, limit of 4 boxes that you can shred there. It is free, but they do ask for donations for their scholarship fund if you feel so inclined. So, yes.
VCS Salon.
Yes.
yes.
You know what? Your hair looks so good. I bet your hair is done at the VCS salon. So
Yes, my hair is definitely.
is that pomade on your hair?
That is pomade on my hair. Yes. And I have realized that pomade, I do believe, though it's in a different different container now, and it costs 300 times as much as it used to when it was Brill Cream. It actually does work, and when you get to be my age, our age, I don't know, whatever.
It's making your hair
You do
look
whatever
good,
you
so
can
I
do,
would
right?
pay the extra money.
Thank you. Yeah, it
What's
is a,
going on at VCS?
What's going
salons?
on other than my haircut? 45th anniversary party, right? Isn't that that is absolutely
And
hard.
they used to be the Village Clip Shop. I didn't,
They
my
did.
mom went to the Village Clip Shop from Wadsworth. She used to drive up here
Right.
from Wadsworth to go there. Yes.
Right.
So,
And I remember when they built this is maybe I. These are the
you're,
things you
'cause
hate.
you're a little bit older than me.
Yeah, well, it's not an historic building.
Yeah.
Those are the things you don't want to be saying when I remember when they built the building. But anyway, 45th anniversary at VCS Salon and Spa. They're going to have a celebration. It's a great
They
milestone.
can have music, and those guys throw a great party.
I
So,
have a script.
You can't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
kind
about
of reading
that.
through
Helping
here.
you out.
Family activities, refreshments, music, contests, giveaways. Maybe even walk away from that with your own can of pomade.
Or even a good haircut.
Or
you
a great
so.
haircut. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
It is
they,
really- those are great people.
Great
Yeah.
people. They
Just
do great
people.
work there. So VCS Salon's 45th anniversary. It's down there on South Court Street, right next to Black Cat. Books and Oddities.
Right next to Black Cat, so you can do Black Cat.
You can stop in there once you've stopped in and seen the event there. And the Medina County Safe Communities Group held their annual breakfast awards ceremony this last week. 30 responders from around the county were honored, including 10 from the Medina area. Medina County Health Department employees Rebecca Parkhurst, Sue Pappas, and Arlene Lawrence were recognized for being outstanding coalition members. Medina Police Dispatchers Patrick Villanueva and Tricia Glonner were recognized for outstanding performance, and Officer Tyler Hughes with the Medina City Department and Officer Matthew O'Donnell and Justin Harvey of the Montville Police Force were recognized for OVI enforcement, and Shauna Yorks of the Medina Township Police Department was recognized for the click it or ticket enforcement, and Patrol Officer Joel Eckstein of the Montville Police Department was recognized for outstanding traffic enforcement. And I'm glad to say that I have not run into any of those folks while driving around lately, but congratulations to them all and to all of our first responders in the Medina area. How about you, Bill? I didn't notice you didn't chip in on that. Have you met those guys out there?
No.
All right, good.
I know some of them, but I've not met them while I was driving. Are you registered to vote? Medina and Ohio's next general election is coming up on Tuesday, November 7th, and you have until Tuesday, October 10th to register to vote if you are not. Many ways you can register to vote. You can register at any library in the county. You can also register online with the Ohio Secretary of State on his website. Or you can walk into the Medina County Board of Elections at 3800 Stonegate Drive in Medina. That's right behind Coles Plaza at the north end of town. Make sure that you make your voice heard this November. Lots of stuff on the ballot, whether you're in Medina or in Medina County. November 7th. Make sure you're registered to vote.
All right, and we're going to run through some sports news for you here. Medina High School, Medina Gazette ran the leaders in different statistics there. Aubrey Miranda of the Medina High School girls volleyball team is one of the leaders in the county in kills. That's volleyball kills.
Got it.
I know you have to keep you up on that. The Medina boys cross country team of the they list the 15 top cross-country runners for their times in the county. Medina Cross Country has all 6 of their runners in that top 15. So Jake Seabaugh, Andrew Bugner, Broden Sullivan, Gage Cole, Varen Rodriguez, and Andrew Mosick. So they're having an outstanding season there for the boys. The girls have 4 in the top 15 in the county: Alexis Warnament, Mia Heine, Haley Black, and Ruth Schmeller. And in boys golf, again, 4 of the top leaders in Medina County are from Medina High School. The Bees, Eli Zimmerman, Cam Stafford, Ren Spires, and Cohen Miller. And on the girls golfing, they've got 4 in the top 15 also: Stella Burns, Lydia Dorman, Camille Christian, and Carly John. So congratulations to them. And the Medina football team beat their arch rival Brunswick this past Friday, 56-14. And the Medina Battling Bees stand at 3-2 on the year.
And in more serious news, a canning company in Salem, Ohio, Canning Creations, has issued a voluntary recall of all its soups, dips, mustard, and pickled products due to the possibility that some of the product may be tainted, contaminated. The affected products were sold throughout Ohio between May 19th, 2021 and September 14th, 2023. Products were also available for sale in that time window at JG Southtown Market in Medina. No case,
Lafayette Street.
Yeah, Lafayette Street. Yeah, no cases of injury or illness have been reported to Canning Creations, but anyone facing signs of foodborne illness should immediately contact a physician. Anyone with affected products can return them to the company. Canning Creations LLC can be reached with questions at 330-881-2331.
Outstanding. I've got one other event going on I want to call to your attention. There's an art show going on at the Wrecking Crew Brew Works right up here at 144 North Court Street in Medina. That's coming up this Saturday, September 23rd at 3 p.m. And they're billing it as looking for something really weird for your walls. This is the place. So I like weird. So also coasters, fun robots, and planters, and a portion of the proceeds go to cool local nonprofits. So that's an art show at the Wrecking Crew Brew Works at 144 North Court Street. So you got anything else in your notes there, Mr. Lamb?
Yeah, I have one more thing, and that is there's English as a second language. English as second language classes in Brunswick at Hope Church, 1905 Pearl Road, Brunswick. They are offering ESL classes beginning tonight at 7 p.m. and Thursday each week ongoing. They are beginning, intermediate, and advanced classes. So for more information on English as second language classes in Brunswick at the Hope Church, you'd want to call 330-273-5651, 330-273-5651.
And Project Learn also offers English as a second language. They're located right here on the square in Medina. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to mention that we get our sources from local news media. I want to point out some of those for you. Obviously, the Medina Gazette, most of us take a look at that. Cleveland.com also has local news from Medina and Brunswick, a good source. Mimi Vanderhaven, which is essentially a advertising paper. They list lots of great events throughout Medina County. The Medina Weekly News that is mailed out is a great source also. And Joy of Medina County Magazine is another great place. And I wanted to mention, I don't know if I have it, for live music each week out on Facebook. Oh, where is it? I have it. Dine Medina County. They list all the musical events going on in Medina County each week, and Medina Weekly News runs that also. So we certainly appreciate them putting out that local news. And so that wraps it up for our first week of Medina this week. I'm Mike Kovack. We appreciate you tuning in.
I'm Bill Lamb. I appreciate you tuning in. I think that we are helping to fill that void that does exist in communities, even though we're fortunate enough to still have a local paper. Fill that void with a lot that you're not going to be able to be aware of that's going on, because we always have great things going on in Medina. And so we hope, we did a little bit of like backwards looking, what happened a few days ago and what's coming forward. And I really want to hear from people for next week. I want to see a few pictures of those houses in those neighborhoods doing some wonderful Halloween decorations. I think it'll be fun to share those things. And Mike and I have had a good time doing this, right?
Bill says we were trying to fill that void. Some of you may think we're creating that void, but thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
It is what it is.